Now we begin with a developing story out of Turkey. The government has accused Russia of again violating its airspace. A statement from the foreign ministry said it happened on Friday. Now in November, a Russian fighter jet was shot down by Turkey after violating its airspace. It was the first time a NATO country and Moscow had exchanged direct fire over the war in Syria. Just at the end of last week, Turkey said it was hoping to normalize ties with Russia. Now, President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says the latest violation appears to be an effort by Russia to escalate tensions. Well, Zaina Awad is near the Turkish-Syrian border with the latest. Zaina, what else did President Erdogan have to say?
Well, President Erdogan had serious words for Russia. He called this a violation of Turkish airspace and a violation of NATO airspace. And that's a very important statement because he's basically saying that Turkey is reminding Russia Turkey is a member of NATO, and an attack on one member of NATO is an attack on the entire alliance. He also said that Russia will face consequences if it continues to behave this way, and that this is an attempt on the part of Russia to escalate the situation. He's also called for a meeting. He's asked for a meeting with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. We also know that the Russian ambassador has been summoned after this incident took place on Friday.
Well, Zaina, the fact that Erdogan has asked for a meeting with Putin is a stepping up of this situation, but this is a really sensitive time for relations between Turkey and Russia.
It is, absolutely. This is the second time, if Russia has indeed crossed into Turkish airspace, then this would be the second time that it violates Turkish airspace. After the first incident, Russia has tightened its sanctions, economic sanctions on Turkey, and tension between the two countries is really at an all-time high, especially when it comes to the conflict in Syria. They support opposing sides. The only thing they seem to agree on is the need to fight Daesh. Beyond that, they really are on the opposite side of the spectrum. And this is also important because it has to do with Russia's relationship with NATO. Because Turkey is a member of NATO, we have already heard a reaction. In fact, the NATO Secretary General has come out in support of Turkey and has said that Russia should not be violating Turkish airspace and should be careful with its actions.
Well, Zaina Awad there for us in Antakya. Thank you for now.